Aloha and welcome to KTA Kitchens. I'm Chef Michi and today I'm going to show you how to make a South American pork posole stew. It's a robust, delicious dish to share with friends. So let's get down to the ingredients. Vegetable oil, boneless pork butt or shoulder, minced garlic, chili powder, paprika, cumin powder, dried oregano, garlic salt, black pepper, cayenne pepper, chicken broth, hominy with reserved liquid, onions diced into large pieces, masa or all-purpose flour, fresh lime, cilantro, and radishes. So let's get started. To start off this dish, I've put some oil into the pot, and just to get a little cheating on using less oil, what I do is I kind of rotate the pan like this and fully coat the bottom of the pan before I put the meat into there. So we're gonna just start browning the pork. That's a nice sizzle. That's what you want to hear when you put the pork in there. And don't put them too close. You want to get them nicely brown on all sides. So the only way that you can do that is by keeping them so that they're not touching. Otherwise, you're really going to just steam the pork instead of browning it. So we're going to do it in batches. You just have to be a little patient. Just keep turning them. It doesn't have to be fully cooked at all. All you want to do is just get a little sear on the outside of the pork. Absolutely do not need to do all of the sides, but just the main big portions of your pieces. And if you keep them far apart, you'll be able to see as soon as it's cooked on both sides, you can actually start just transferring it into another pan or a pot and then keep adding in. Just make sure that you're cooking both sides of all the pieces. So we're going to finish cooking these off and we'll come back in just a minute. All right, now the pork is all nicely browned. I'm just on the last couple pieces. And as soon as they are good and cooked, I'm going to add in the browned pork that we've already done. And it's still kind of sizzling away. You want to hear that. Because next I'm going to add in all those aromatic spices and flavors, the garlic. We've got chili powder, the paprika, and I'm going to keep mixing all the spices in. And what this does is it really allows the spice flavors and oils to come out with the heat before you add in any liquids. This just really kind of awakens the spices. Okay, so we've got some cumin in there, oregano. This is a really common Mexican or South American spice. I love garlic salt. It's just got a little more flavor than normal salt because you've got more garlic in there. Definitely need some pepper for some flavor and spice. And then if you like your stew a little spicier, which I do, I'm going to add a little bit of cayenne pepper. This you have to be really careful with. Cayenne pepper is very hot. So just a pinch normally is all you need. That's all I'm going to add. So we're going to cook this for about 3 more minutes just to get the spices going, and then we'll be right back. So the next thing we have to do is we're going to add in the liquids. You want to add the chicken broth. And then you've got that hominy with the reserved liquid. After adding the hominy, this is the point that we're going to put in the onions. You want to give it a good stir to incorporate the onions into the stew. They're going to cook really slowly as the stew is gently simmering. And this is going to get them really nice and soft and sweet. So just give it a stir and we're going to bring it up to a soft, gentle simmer. You cover the stew for 2 to 2.5 hours. And then you're going to enjoy. You really don't want to just leave the stew by itself. Every once in a while, just give it a stir, and then you will be in heaven eating this. At this point, you could also put the contents into a crock pot, leave it in there for 2.5 hours, and you're good to go. It's been about 2.5 hours now. I'm going to just take a peek at our stew. It's looking great. And at this point, what I really like to do, and you don't have to do this, but it is nice to just skim off a little bit. There might be a little bit of oil on the top of the stew. Really easy, just get a spoon and kind of gently take a little bit of that off. You don't have to do all of it, just a little. And now we can actually thicken the stew. You can use the masa, which is a corn-based flour, or you can use just regular flour, whatever's in your pantry. So I'm going to slowly add some water to the flour, and you just want to kind of create a thick slurry. You don't want it too watery because there's already a lot of liquid inside of your stew. But it should definitely not be lumpy, because then you might end up with some big biscuits inside of your stew. Great. So there you've got just a nice thickened flour and water mixture to add to your stew, and this will really thicken it up. Just slowly pour some in. Use your judgment. You want to get a little bit of an opaque look to your stew, and that's all you're going to need. Once the flour starts to cook, it's going to just naturally start to thicken the stew. So this is just one last step. Let that simmer for a few more minutes, and you'll be ready to serve. So our stew is all done. After all these hours, it's beautiful. It smells just wonderful. For serving this stew, I really like to give it a little color, a little crunch, and some texture. You might want to add some cilantro. These are kind of traditional accompaniments for this dish. Some fresh radishes, you slice them very thin. There's a few of those. And then just for a nice punch, you want to add a little squeeze of fresh lime. This dish really goes great with a white wine. My choice would be a Chardonnay. I'm just going to give it a quick taste. This is the best part. It's perfect. You can taste that corn coming through, the nice rich pork. Thank you for joining me at KTA Kitchens. For this recipe and more, you can go to KTASuperstores.com/recipes. I'm Chef Michi. Aloha.